Hey guys, week 3 of Super Rugby AU, and so far it has been a good season. Well, for most teams, the Waratahs have been struggling so far. I don't think their fans have been enjoying this tournament too much. It's going to be a big game, this though, because I think the Waratahs are going to gun for this one. If there's any team they probably feel they can reach and get a win over, it is the Force. So I do feel this is going to be a big one. It's being played in Sydney, scattered clouds, 20 degrees Celsius. If we do look at the two games that the Waratahs have played, it's two losses, two big losses. 34 points to the Reds, then it's 51 points to the Brumbies. While the Force, they also lost to the Brumbies in their one game, but that was by 16 points. Just going by that, you'll probably favour the Force if you just look at the scores, but that's not how easy this predictions of rugby goes. If you do want to watch more prediction videos, remember to hit the subscribe button. Let's get into the two teams for the week. The Waratahs, they made a couple of changes, 3 changes. The Force made 4 changes to their starting lineup. Up front, the Waratahs already made 2 changes to their front row. Bell is injured, so Tetera Faulkner, he comes in. Poreki also comes in at number 2, with Harry Johnson Holmes continuing at number 3. I thought they struggled last week at scrum time, the Waratahs. They up against the Force, who also didn't do the best in the previous time they played against the Brumbies. So who knows how these two teams are going to play, because if you do weigh them up how they played against the Brumbies, probably the Force a little bit better with Robertson, Medrano and Kaitu'u. Robertson, big game for him this, playing against his previous team that he left to join the Force now. Medrano, he did pretty well, the Argentinian international. Kaitu'u, he has a gap this season if he wants to go for the hooker position in the Wallabies. But last season, I did think Kaitu'u did get a couple of overthrows. This year around, he did get a couple as well so far, but hopefully for him, he does improve. Going to the second rows, there is already a change. The vice captain, Hugh Sinclair, comes in for the Waratahs. Sam Caird is in number 4. Not a very experienced combination together, that, but Lee Warner and Thrush, very good combination there. Also not having played too much together, but has more experience than the other one. Thrush, we know what the All Black legend can do. He's been doing that for years, and he's still playing so hard at this level. He's still good in the air. He plays hard all the time. I do have to kind of judge on how much penalties he is giving away at the moment, though, because that is costing the Force at the moment. Then Lee Warner, also a very hard player, very much like Thrush as well. Ainsty, the sevens player, he comes in at number 6 versus Swinton and Tizano. What do they call them? I think it's the Bruise brothers for the Waratahs. It's 2 very hard players. I do think Swinton, though, he is a bit hot-headed. He does get into a little bit of scuffles and things like that all the time, but you need those type of guys on a rugby field as well. Koteka at number 7, Stander captaining the side for the Force for the first time. Big game for him. He's been there for 8 years, so he always plays at 100%, always leaves everything on the pitch. So it's going to be a big game for him versus Dempsey. At number 9, it is Kubeli. Kubeli did really well off of the bench. I think in the preseason, he also came off the bench and he played really well. This time around in round 1, he also came off the bench. He scored a try immediately from that. He's a legend in Argentina, and he's just so quick with the ball. So that's going to be a big game up against Grant, because Grant, he is still the youngster. He's probably going to learn a couple of things from the legend. McIntyre comes in for the Force at number 10. He's also a guy that could probably play really well off a guy like Kubali, because he is more of a playmaker. He does try a little bit of tricks, try more things on the park. So it's good to have a guy like him in there as well. Will Harrison, the youngster, is really doing his thing still with his boot from the tee. Unfortunately, his side is struggling, so there's only so much he can do. Then at number 12, Marua versus Kahui. Kahui, the New Zealand legend, versus Marua, who's still finding his feet in Union. Still haven't really convinced me that he is a starter, though. Newsom versus Kuridrani. Kuridrani, he looks to be back in his best form while he is now at the Force as well. Out wide, Jack Maddox is at number 14. Strange call that, switching Nawaka Nitawase and Maddox, because Maddox's preferred position is 15. I think Nawaqanitawase's preferred position is 14. I don't know. You can maybe let me know. Ram at number 11. He's been pretty quiet so far this season. So let's see what that switch at the back for the Waratahs does do. At number 15 for the Force, they have a big name there. Carney, Mr. Reliable, was impressive under the high ball in that first game. He's only going to improve with time in this competition. Tony Pulu, he plays his first game for the Force. He is a guy that does tend to get a couple of tries as well. And Ralston at number 14, slow start in his first game, but we know what he did last year. I thought he would have been a Wallaby, how he played last year. So let's see what he does in the second round. On the two benches, there's also some movement. The front row is strong for the Force with Reddy, Wagner, and Holmes. They also have guys like Lizana, Pryor, Miotti, and Brachi. So very strong bench for the Force. And like I said, this season around, they don't just have guys to finish the game. They have a strong bench that actually knows how to improve the game when they do come on. Miotti, can't wait to see what he does. He has a track record of really improving a game when he comes off of the bench and really scoring tries. I think his debut for the Jaguares, he scored 3 tries off of the bench. Then Horton, big name for the Waratahs. He's been good for at hooker. Talakai, he gets his first game for the season. Wetton drops to the bench for the Waratahs. Then further than that, it is pretty inexperienced for the Waratahs. Guys, like I said, the Waratahs, they are probably gonna gun for this game. This is probably the one that they think they could win. But for me, the Force is stronger, though it is away from home. That is something you have to take into account, especially with those 2 big losses for the Waratahs. This is a big game for them to turn their season around. So I don't think it's also going to be a big loss for the Waratahs as well. They could even sneak it. But for me, I think the Force will win it by 10 points in this one. But you never know. The Waratahs can sneak it, like I said. Let me know down in the predictions what you think the game is going to go down to. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more of these videos. Check out these videos next to me. Hit the subscribe button, like I said. And then I'll see you for the next one. Cheers.